So yeah, last Saturday I was supposed to be streaming, and I started streaming, and it was going okay. Ness had to dip out early because their mom showed up and stole them, so that was a problem. But it was going okay, and then right after we finished episode 9, the freaking fire alarm in my building went off. So, very sorry about breaking those two people's ears because I definitely broke some people's ears doing that, but like I had to immediately like stop streaming and then leave the building. It's not like there was actually a fire in here or anything. It was totally fine. It was just I'm in a college dorm and the fire alarm went off for some reason. And so we were outside and I'm in Canada. I was
Just to
outside
let
in
you guys
5
know,
degrees Celsius.
we're starting in a minute, by the way.
Yeah.
Just letting you guys know.
Yeah, we're starting in a couple minutes. So yeah, I was outside in 5 degrees Celsius and nothing but PJs for 45 minutes, waiting for them to sort that out. So that was my Saturday. Otherwise, things are going okay. Midterms. How about you two? How are things?
I want to die.
Oh, Ness. Ness is
Honestly,
sick, guys.
Well,
Sorry.
yeah, I did.
yeah,
I
and
had like an
I'm
essay to write on Monday that killed me, and that, ugh, maybe that's why I'm sick.
It's
I'm
the
very
essay's
not
fault.
sick.
Good
I should
job
be
not
sick,
being sick.
but I'm not sick, so
Yeah,
I'm glad.
congratulations.
We're proud of you for not being sick. Um,
All right, shall we start?
we might as well start. Yeah, we got a group here. Um, so yeah, hi everybody. You know the drill. We're all in general discussion. If you want to chat, we've already got a few people there. This is our monthly podcast where we do our typical thing. We sit down, we talk about the chapter, things that stood out to us, things we liked, things that foreshadow terrible things for the future, and all that fun stuff. I am Otaku Imi.
I'm Coffee or Random Hanako.
I'm Ness and also sick. So woo!
That's our sickness. This will be recorded and posted on YouTube, and hopefully the quality will be a bit better this time because I am no longer fighting with my recording setup. Downside, I do not have my usual mic with me, so my audio is going to be a bit worse, but the recording's going to be better. Trade off. We're halfway
If
there.
if Ness is going to sound like that the whole podcast, maybe you need to put auto tune on the voice.
Auto tuned Nez. Oh my
How's that
god.
gonna work? I feel like that might make it worse.
That would be hilarious, though.
It would be.
It would be pretty good. Okay, I guess we can jump right into it, unless you two have other fun tidbits you want
Oh,
to throw in.
oh, the prediction for this chapter.
Oh, you remember
Um,
last chapter? I was pretty strong in my prediction for this chapter that we were not going to hear the answer. That, like, Yashida was going to ask a question, but we weren't going to hear what she said, and we were going to cut away. I was very wrong,
Yeah, super
obviously.
wrong.
But there was
I
also a
mean,
pretty popular belief. I'm talking a lot, sorry, Kathy, I cut you off. But there was also a popular belief that she was going to ask about Hanako's past, and she did not, which I am happy about. But we can get
I
into
That was
that
my
later. Yeah.
prediction. That was my one
when
prediction, so happy I got it right because I knew that she was not gonna ask that. I
Hmm.
know her character.
I mean, we kind of underestimated Nene because we were present. They presented her with two options. Obviously, being the person she is, she's not going to choose either, right?
Hmm.
It's Nene we're talking about.
Of course.
So I guess we can start the chapter. So we pick up from last time. You remember Nene was presented with two options, hearing about how she's going to die, or hearing about Hanako's past.
Well, technically,
So
she was presented with three options. It was one of those two, or anything she wanted to know.
Yeah, basically.
okay, and Nene recalls that Sakura, she's kind of Sakasa's assistant, and being Sakasa's assistant, the last time that wasn't a very good experience. She got trapped and she got tricked.
Can you imagine
And
though? That was so long ago. Like that's
yeah,
her last memory of her interactions with Sakura. It was like this
exactly.
wild one-time tea party
Oh
so
god.
long ago that it's animated.
It's in the
That's
anime.
how long
It's
ago
in
it
the anime.
was.
I just realized, guys, reference to the Tea Party arc is also when the key was. That was the Tea Party arc.
It was. It
So the
was.
fact that
Does
they're
it
referencing
foreshadow the key's return?
that, the fact that they're
Oh, yeah,
referencing
guys.
all the way back to then gives me hope that they remember the key.
The return
Okay, you
is
guys are
nigh,
holding on to nothing.
Cappy. It's
You're
nigh.
holding
I
on to
mean,
nothing.
yeah, like they're literally referencing something so far back. Why would they not remember the key?
Oh, someone brought up the key the other day in like just one of the channels discussion, and something they mentioned was something I talked about is that the key at this point is like our own personal podcast rumor. Like it's a rumor that has morphed and evolved and has taken on a life of its own. It's like if we had the podcast Seven Mysteries, the key would be at the top of that list. That's our thing.
Yep.
Yeah, Nene uses the art of deduction, deductive reasoning,
Mm-hmm.
and she deduced that Sakura is planning something this time, so she doesn't want to lower guard. But Sakura, being Sakura, plays along with it, and she says, "Oh, Natsuhiko's actually going to stab me in the back," and Nene falls for it.
Yes, of course she does.
Of course.
Yeah. So that doesn't help Sakura's character at all to her because Sakura is suspicious and mysterious to her, but she still wants to know. She still has a burning question.
Because
But
of course
Sakura,
she does.
mhm, she has so many questions. And Sakura mentioned something I find kind of a bit, little bit interesting that her books told her that the underclassmen should always meet the expectations of the upperclassmen. And I'm like, why is, first of all, why is there even a book on this? And why is Sakura why is Sakura reading these books? You know, these things usually come to people naturally. You don't have to read a book about them.
Yeah.
So,
Sakura reads books on everything. It's been like one of her character quirks since the very start is that whatever book she's holding is oddly specific to whatever she is doing in that moment. Like I think one of the books that I remember her holding was a book on boundaries and it's like where the heck did you
yeah.
get that book? It's a book on boundaries in the city. You'd figure that's not the kind of knowledge that you just find in a library. Like, what's going on? But it's really funny. Something else that I really enjoyed about Sakura here was that Sakura is like, she's a really teasing character.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect her
Oh
to
yeah.
just fly into jokes like that so easily. She has a lot of fun. A lot more than I think I got an impression of from like the past few times we've seen her.
Because she had to
Hmm.
deal with Natsuhiko, who's a pain in her ass, and Tsukasa, which is another pain in her ass that but she has to put up with it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's why she's like that most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I was just reading into it too much. I was thinking maybe because she's now that we know she's not human, she actually has to study these sort of things.
Well, we do know
But
for a fact that
what
she
no.
isn't human, so it could be just as much her character quirk that she does, read up on all the most obscure things because she hasn't really interacted with people and she doesn't know how to do normal things.
Yeah. So, um, Nene asks her a question. Tell me everything you know about Aoi. But she wants to know if Aoi returned to the mortal realm and if her lifespan goes back to normal. But Nene didn't expect an answer from Sakura. She is underestimating her and she probably expects to get fooled again.
It's hilarious
But
how she just like huffs and turns away, like as if you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, where is your
yeah,
confidence coming
Nene
from, Nene?
usually isn't this sassy.
Like,
Isn't usually this sassy.
it was
But
pretty funny.
yeah, Sakura answers her straight up. She says that, oh, she brings up the whole irony of the situation. Um, Aoi was supposed to die, but Aoi was supposed to live, but she died, and Nene was supposed to die, but she lived. So their lifespans were supposed to get switched, but the situation has changed in a little bit. Well, a lot, because Aoi was supposed to go to the far shore and get sacrificed, and their fates would have been sealed then, but she, as we know, she didn't. That didn't happen.
Ugh,
So
I love the little panel of Aoi just like sitting on top of the. It's like a bus. I
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a train car. It could be a bus car. It's probably supposed to be a train car, even though it's not. Oh, it is on tracks. Okay, I just need to
Okay.
look closer. So yeah, she's just sitting on a train car,
That's
going
cute.
one way, and then nope, not going that way anymore. Like, oh my gosh, that's so cute.
And just Sakura said you all prevented it, didn't you? But I think, yeah, you all as in her group with Ko and Teru, not the group with Hanako. But yes, number six has now lost his position.
And we all
So
know how that came to pass.
yeah, very dark.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And she doubts that he will continue the ceremony. So this whole thing was dependent on number six. He started it, we know that. But as for carrying through with it, we know that was also on his back as well. So
Mm-hmm.
that's no longer the case. Um,
I wonder if we'll see
yeah,
him again.
I don't know.
Because like he's obviously he didn't die. He's still around, but he's
Hmm.
lost his position. He's no longer a school wonder. So yeah, I'm really interested. Just shout out to the audience there. Then everyone, do you think we're gonna see number six again after everything that's happened?
He's kind of pretty worthless at this point, isn't he? He's done his job,
Well,
I
he's
guess.
probably lost a lot of power, but like even if he's lost his power, does he still have any authority over life and death?
Wait, that's a good
Um,
question.
yeah, it is.
But he's also lost all desires that he thought he even had. He didn't know he had desires until he lost to Mary. And
Yeah. Ultimately, he's in a really sad position right now, that poor boy.
I think he's
I
just going
mean,
to be wondering.
I don't feel that bad for him. I have a limit considering what he
Mhm,
did, but like I still feel bad for. I feel bad for both of them.
Yeah.
That was
mhm,
not a happy end.
yeah,
Which, worries me, but that's a discussion for another time.
there's no
Yes.
happy ending. But anyways, Sakura was wondering if they actually returned to the mortal realm, and she knows that um Teru probably has a way to do all this. So she summons Kakujodai. Have we seen her summon Kakujodai before?
We've seen her interact
Yes.
with it, yeah. Like
We've seen her
she just
interact with it,
says
but
she has said Kokujodai before and had
It,
Kokujodai
hmm
respond.
it popped up in her hand. Yeah, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if she was summoning it or if like it summoned
no,
itself
it
from her.
it it went to her. Like it went to her hand. It already existed. It didn't just pop up. It went to her hand. So it's already.
It
So that wasn't her summoning it.
No, I remember it
That's what
popping
I
up.
remember.
At least once. At least once she has
Yeah,
summoned,
at
I'm
least
pretty
once
sure. I
it
just can't remember
popped
when
up
it
in her
is.
hand. Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
But yeah, we all thought that this was Sukasa's Kakujodai. Now I'm kind of wondering if it's Sakura's Kakujodai, but whatever. Um, it seems she says that it seems like they're no longer there, meaning that they've gone back to the mortal realm. And Sakura says, "How wonderful." Meanwhile, Nene is wondering, I'm gonna die though. How is that wonderful? But she didn't expect Sakura to answer her so seriously. Um, and she still wonders if it's a lie. But Nene, we really see a side of Nene here coming to terms with the fact that she is actually going to die, and she's genuinely glad that Ao is going to live. So Nene is a nice person.
Just just to go back very slightly though, Nene being like so convinced that Sakura is lying to her is kind of funny because Sakura's group has never really lied to Nene. Like, I know she's thinking back to the Tea Party arc, but nothing that happened at the Tea Party arc was actually a lie. Like, Sakura
Except for
just
Sakura
wanted to
telling
have
her that she's
tea.
a human.
Like, they never said they weren't going to hurt her. They never said she was safe. They never said anything. Like, Sakura and Tsukasa's group, they're very straightforward. They
um,
they
Amy, Sakura told Nene that she's like her, she's a human being.
She didn't say that. She said, like her, she is someone contracted to a supernatural.
I remember her saying that she's a human being. I mean, I did do a whole
Well, you
theory on
definitely
this.
internalized the fact that she is a human. We don't know Sakura's situation. Um, we're just assuming that she's some sort of god, but we also don't know what the original Japanese is, so
True.
that always.
All right, moving on with that. Nene asks a question: would she die as soon as she returned to the mortal realm? And Sakura didn't get to answer because the boundary started to break away. And that's when Nene thinks back to, oh, Sumeri, right. Um, she asks her if Sakura knows where she is, which Sakura does because apparently Sakura knows everything. No, since she's God. Um, so Sakura leads her to the cave where that incident happened.
I
And
didn't expect this. I honestly did not expect them to actually go to the cave and that we would see this.
Oh yeah.
mhm,
It's gruesome.
Like that's some horror going on right there. It was horror when it was happening, but like I didn't expect to revisit it so soon.
God. Ugh.
mhm. And Nene discovers Sumeri's bell bracelet that she was wearing. And this is when Sakura reveals that Yorishiros can also be destroyed by the school mysteries themselves. It doesn't have to be Nene or Kanang yeah, that does it.
This is such a
Um
fascinating lore tidbit, right? Because she explains that if a Yorishiro is destroyed by someone other by like by the supernatural themselves, they have to be destroyed to the point where they're completely unrecognizable.
mhm,
Like obviously number six did that. We know how he did that, but like that's not gruesome when your Yorishiro is something like a rock, right?
exactly.
True,
Like
yeah.
if you grind a rock to dust, like if that's an emotional rock, I'm sure that's emotionally painful, but it's still a rock. It's only really gruesome when the Yorishiro is a person. So, um, so
And
I
apparently a
like how
person
much of a
that they were in love
deterrent?
with.
How much of a deterrent is that? Like, really? Like, I guess if it's really an object you value, but is it limited to just the supernatural whose Yorishiro it is? I'm not sure Sakura clarifies if that's the case. She
Like if
just
another
says,
supernatural can destroy another
yeah,
supernatural Zero.
yeah. Like,
I mean, I'd assume that's not true, but we don't have any confirmation, so.
my thought is that if Hanako had not found Nene, would he still have been able to destroy Yorishiro's?
Mm.
That was just,
No, doesn't
yeah.
I don't know. It defeats the purpose though, because the whole purpose of like the supernatural being able to restore the Yorishiro is because they wouldn't want to ever, because it's something important to them.
Well, yes. The supernatural whose Yorishiro it is wouldn't want to. I just thought if
Mm.
anyone can destroy Yorishiro by like actually destroying it, then Hanako might not have actually needed Nene for his plan.
True.
Yeah, and if
I don't know. I just
Hanako
feel like that wouldn't make much sense.
hmm Yeah,
like
but it wasn't really clarified. But we can keep
Yeah.
going
Mhm.
anyways.
I'll probably get back to that after I finish the reading the chapter.
hmm
So yeah, so yeah, you explained the point where the supernatural their issue is usually something emotional to prevent a supernatural from abandoning their duties. And well, Nene kind of finally realized in the worst way possible that this is this happened. That incident happened because she didn't peel the seal off of Sumeri, which kind of sad.
That's so rough. Oh my
But
God.
yeah,
It's pretty horrifying, but like at the same time, if she did peel it off of Samiri, she still would have been destroying Samiri. Like,
she would have been sad,
True.
but
It's
let
just a
us
less
not
gruesome way to
forget that
go.
Samiri was not really showing any signs of pain or distress when she was going through that.
That's true.
hmm
She seemed quite satisfied for someone that was being devoured.
So horrifying to think about if you're not Sumire, because I don't think Nene knows that Sumire like was satisfied with that.
Yeah.
yeah. And Sakura tries to, I don't know, comfort her, saying that that's not true, even though it is true, and there's no need to blame herself, even though she is actually to blame. Um, but Sakura gets into, I don't know, I think she was trying to be manipulative with this whole statement
I'm
when she
pretty sure
says,
that's what it is. Whenever it switches to dark like that, it's usually because the speaker is being manipulative or we're in flashback mode. And we're obviously not in flashback mode, so it's probably referring to her being manipulative.
so it's saying that if you don't want the same thing that happened to number six to happen to number seven, then you need to destroy your Yorishiro, which I don't think Sakasa is just going to sit there and allow her to peel the Yorishiro off of his cheek, right? Sakasa we're talking about.
It would depend
So
on the
that's kind of a lot.
situation.
True. Tsukasa is super unpredictable, so
Um, so Nene, yeah, we just go through the whole thing, and she, it's confirmed here
Yeah.
that Tsukasa is Hanako Zero.
Okay, let
It's
me
never been confirmed before,
let
as
me
much
just
as
say
we.
though. Let me just say
Hmm.
the first person to say out loud that Tsukasa is Hanako Zirashiro is the one girl whose words I take as the ultimate proof that it
oh
is
my
not the
god.
case.
I
Like,
noticed that
I
immediately. I
know,
was
I
like,
know
no.
Tsukasa is Hanako Zirashiro. He has to be. It makes the most sense. I've always known that's what makes the most sense, but the moment it came out of Nene's mouth, I started to doubt myself.
That's the first
Like,
time I ever doubted it. I was like, wait,
I'm sorry,
maybe he
Miss
is the
Hanako Kun's descendant. I can't trust your words.
no. I never had a doubt in my mind until this chapter.
Which is ironic because this is a chapter where they're confirming it like that's the case, but like it's also the chapter that is officially unconfirming it for me.
I don't know how to feel about it.
I'm conflicted.
Uh, so yeah, it's confirmed, guys. We know.
It is
Yeah.
confirmed,
Basically, yeah.
technically,
Mhm.
pending Nene verification. But
Yeah.
And after all that, um, Hakujodai appears out of nowhere, and he takes Nene away. But before she goes away, he Sakura answers one of her last burning questions, and that's regarding her lifespan. So she tells Nene that if you return to the mortal realm, you don't have to worry. You will not die there, but your lifespan will expire as soon as every Yorishiro of every school mystery is destroyed.
and that was
And
definitely a
then,
bombshell. Like I didn't know what to make of that. That's the one moment in this entire chapter where I actually went, "What?" And then I had to pause and go back and like try and make sense of that because that's a big deal. But
Yeah.
mhm,
anyways, we're almost at the end. We can do that first.
so Natsuhiko comes out of nowhere, still being sus. Um,
I love Natsu. Look at him.
He's great, isn't
Look
he?
at his sussy face. I love him.
Sassy face. Uh,
so he says he comments on the incident, and he says that it's pretty sick that um someone wants to be consumed by their loved one. It's pretty sick for the person to consume their loved one. So, and Sakura is like, "You think so?" Question mark. Of course. Why is there a question attached to that? Um, but Natsuhiko's like, "Oh, I want the girl I love to smile," and they they
It's a
keep
real
doing this.
challenge for him, isn't it? Natsuhiko loves the one girl that does not smile.
And she was smiling when Nene was there.
Yep, she just doesn't smile for
oh
Natsuhiko.
man, poor
Yeah.
guy.
But um she talks about that, she's sure that they much prefer this ending, ending things by their own hands and not someone else's. And Natsuhiko is like, "Oh, so that's why you brought them there? See, there, this is what I like about you." And he also comments on the fact that she let their plan, so we now know the trio's plan, slip to Nene, and it will make things harder for them now to get Nene to destroy all the Yoroshiros. But apparently Sakura is like, nah, that doesn't matter because Yashiro, will definitely destroy all the Yoroshiros first, and she's pretty confident. So Nene knows that they're up to some scheming, and he's all for it because Sakura is all for it. And then we get back to wrap things up with the chapter. We get back to near shore, and Hanako is patting Nene on the head and saying, "Welcome back." And
And
unconsciously
welcome
saying
back
that,
it is.
Finally back.
Oh my god, it has been so long. Two
mm-hmm,
years, my people.
Oh,
2 years since we
oh,
were last in the school, and here we are.
years.
never
Some of
expected
us,
to get back to school.
yeah, a lot of us never thought we were gonna go back to the school. We thought it was just like a forever thing. We were
Oh no,
done with the
Sissy.
school. It would just be other stuff forever. But we're back. We might get some semblance of a status quo reinstated. Like
Just give us a break. We
we
need some
might get
voice
a break,
acting.
guys. A break,
Finally.
a real break.
Really?
Now that this arc has finally come to a close.
And that's what I've been calling it. Like it's technically composed of two like pretty distinct arcs, but the entire Severance I'm just referring to as the Severance arc, marked by when the Severance actually happened to right now when it is officially undone and everyone is back at the school.
Which is exactly 2 years.
Exactly two
Really,
years.
like on the dot 2 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, Hanako disappeared 2020 of October 17th.
Yep.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So
so
officially the longest arc
I,
of the manga.
If you count it as one arc, yeah.
hmm
I just want to go back a little bit. Natsuhiko and Sakura, when we're speaking, they tend to do this like they tend to see themselves as someone just watching things unfold.
hmm
They did this at the Picture Perfect arc when they're like, oh, it's probably better for them, for Nene and Hanako to stay in the Picture Perfect world, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of strange because now that we know their plans, why would they want that to happen?
Oh, you're right. It is strange, ultimately. But at the same time, that might have been the feeling she expressed at the time. But Tsukasa was also pushing for Nene to break the illusion. If you remember, like Tsukasa tried to push for her to kill Amane, like he was down for that. So, at least in that sense, like they were passively on board with the illusion crumbling, but it does make me wonder if there's a backup plan for that. Like,
I don't know. I feel like when they were like saying that maybe they'd be better off like staying here, it was more like a hypothetical thing, not like
Mm-hmm.
a they should definitely stay here. That we want that to happen. I think it's more like a yeah, they'd probably be better off here, but
hmm
Yeah, and it's also kind of confirmed that Sakasa is kind of an outlier to them. So it's not Natsuhiko, Sakura, and Tsukasa working together. It's kind of a whole Sakura and Natsuhiko working against Tsukasa thing going on somewhere in that whole trio.
yeah, it's like
yeah.
Sakura and Natsuhiko are definitely in it together purely because Natsuhiko is like only there for Sakura. But Sakura and Tsukasa are functioning under a shared interest kind of goal. So, like, they both have a goal. It is a very similar goal, and so they are working together to achieve that goal.
That works against Tsukasa because she wants Nene to peel. She wants Nene to destroy Tsukasa, basically,
Well,
right?
you're assuming that Tsukasa would be against that. This is the same Tsukasa that very gleefully cheered for his brother to murder him. Like,
Again,
Yeah.
that's
would
true.
if if his destruction resulted in a really interesting expression on his brother's face, like if it really caused him distress, he would be down for it in a
And the thing
heartbeat.
is, Sakura needs Tsukasa to achieve her wish. So maybe that's Tsukasa's way of achieving her wish by dying.
Potentially, yeah. So yeah, he would definitely do that. But yeah, he was pointing it out. Like Tsukasa told Hanako to his face that they should destroy the Yoroshiros. Like Tsukasa knows what that means.
Mhm. There's no way he doesn't.
And yeah, Nene destroying Tsukasa would definitely stress Hanako out,
Oh
to
yeah. Oh
put
my
it
god.
mildly.
Oh, I see I see the panel you sent there is with
Yeah.
Sakura summoning. But is that really summoning though? She's saying welcome back. She
I
didn't
mean,
say
I don't know. It's popping up in her hand though. It didn't fly to it.
oh whatever. I don't think it's that's important. Um yeah, I wanted to get to a point there with Hanako earlier in the chapter. So if we see Sakura is like a god, right? And we're still wondering if why Hanako wanted to get rid of the Yoroshiros initially. He says there was some sort of traitor, right? And even though he discovered who the traitor is, he still continued. Is it that he still continued to destroy the Yoroshiros, or Nene continued destroying the Yoroshiros?
The only Yorishiro that was destroyed after Hanako knew that Tsukasa was back was in the Picture Perfect arc, and that was entirely on
Oh
her
yeah,
own prerogative.
that's true.
Okay,
So yeah,
but
after he knew that Tsukasa was there, Hanako did not destroy a single Yorishiro. He didn't order for it. He even told Nene not to because it was after that the Clock Keepers arc happened, and she specifically asked
oh
him if
yes,
she should go destroy the Yorishiro, and he's like, "No, we might need that power." Was his excuse at the
yeah, but that
time.
was probably to save. That was probably explicitly to save Nene, though.
It might have been, but I think it might have also been him, not wanting to necessarily go through with it.
Mhm. Hmm. Okay.
But
Because I
yeah,
was thinking.
so I'm just gonna throw this. Everyone in the audience right now, if you have any questions right now specific to the chapter, go ahead and type them out in general discussion. We're gonna quick shoot through them. Once we are done doing that, we're gonna go over the Severance arc as a whole because it's over. It's time to do a bit of a retrospective.
How is the Severance art, guys?
What? I'm just giving people a minute to type.
10 out
Uh,
of 10.
10 out of
Wow.
10. Yeah, give us a rating. Down in general discussion, everyone. I don't know how I
I
would rate it.
I don't know. I don't know either. It was good.
It's kind of hard
I
because I need to reread it as a whole to really feel how it hits, but it was really well done. Like they kept the
Mhm.
emotions going pretty hard throughout. They kept it pretty tight even though we were at the Red House for the first half, it still felt like a tight narrative. And then the entire time they were back in the Boundary, that was still very relevant, and it was all wrapping up what was happening. Hockey never felt more depressed. 10 out of 10. I like it.
Oh yeah, and oh, by the way, the Severance arc started with Doritos and ended with Doritos, by the way. Just pointing that out.
Yes, the Doritos. The Doritos will go down in
Oh
history
yeah.
as the most depressing portion of this manga. The freaking
Just
Doritos.
like just like if you want to make a TVHK fan cry, show them Doritos.
They will respond. It's hilarious. It's like
It
it's like in My
disappears.
Hero Academia, you just need to show Todoroki fans a tea kettle and they will start sobbing. It's the same kind of thing.
I'm traumatized. I can't eat Doritos anymore.
Yep, can't look at the Doritos. Can't look at triangles in geometry class.
Can't look at anything that's triangle shaped. Pyramids?
Yeah, that
No.
was wild. Definitely the strongest emotional response, and I still remember it. I wasn't part of the community when the severance first happened, but I joined it shortly after, and I remember just the emotional aftermath was wild across the community. Everyone was distraught by it. They were really thinking that the manga might end like that they might never see
Mhm.
Hanako again, that was it. Like people were
Yeah,
scared. It was
When
crazy.
I finished the manga, it was at chapter 69, I think. So
Oh, you were pretty
it
close.
was it was not fun to just two chapters after that just be
I was
hit
at I
so
was at
hard.
chapter 66, and the Severance arc, the Severance happening and Hanako disappearing is what actually made me seek out a community, because I wasn't really big on the whole anime community things. But that I needed somebody to talk to, and there's
Yeah.
nobody in my circle that reads TVHK, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it was insane. Aki, you joined with the pizza party. That was recent.
Oh wow.
We covered the pizza party. Like that's
We
that's one
did.
of our longer podcast episodes.
I mean, at least I didn't have to go through the whole month of void in your heart because Hanako's disappeared. Like, at least I didn't have
Oh
to
my
go through that.
god. Yeah,
That
that
was
was hell.
terrible.
I got so used to it too, just like not having Hanako around and not really expecting him to be back anytime soon.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I still remember it was like pretty anticlimactic when he did come back
It
because he was
was.
just like he
Yeah.
just reappeared out of the crowd and was like, "Hey, what's up?" like
I
Like
know, right?
it's
I could have
like he
done
hadn't
something
been
better.
gone.
yeah, his reappearance did not make as big of a splash as we thought it would purely because it was just such a casual thing that happened.
So nonchalant.
Yeah,
Oh, did we talk about, yeah, Mitsuba's whole arc, mini arc happened here, didn't it?
Mitsuba hasn't been
Like
in the Severance arc. The only
Wait,
time he was in.
when did we talk about his family life then? Like his mother. When did I miss
that
the
was
mother?
during the Severance arc. It
Oh
was
yeah,
right
the
before Red
Severance.
House.
It was right before the Red House, so we did go see his mom, but Mitsuba himself was not in the
We just got to learn
Yeah,
about
House
his
arc.
past.
that's just a so yeah, that was a mini arc too.
I
A very
mean,
small one.
if you want to count it, it's literally one chapter.
Yeah, so I don't know. It'd be like saying Moke of the Dead is an arc.
I want to count Moke of the Dead as an arc. I loved
That's
that arc.
the one
Is that
chapter
even
arc.
canon? Is
It
that even
is,
canon?
yeah.
It
It's
is
like right
canon,
in the
yeah.
middle.
Come on, if it like if the spin-off manga is canon, then that's definitely canon.
The
Absolutely, that
spin-off
is
manga is
canon.
not canon,
It is
please.
canon. It's connected to canon.
Hmm.
It like directly connects to canon because of the Tiara chapter. I'm pretty sure that was the connection I made. I have to go
It's
back and look
so
at it.
hilarious.
It's yes, yeah. I was so happy when they confirmed spin-off manga was canon. So
So
funny.
what about the Red House, guys? You want to talk about the Red House guys a bit?
I do want to talk about the Red House. So the Red
Yes.
House was that was when I joined. That was my introduction. We were just starting at the Red House, and I remember that was when my theorist brain was like just starting to turn, and everything was all sorts of wild ideas. We should talk for a little while about the Tsukasa theories that were running wild at the time.
Oh man. Oh no, not this.
We made a whole video talking about how two Tsukasas would work because everyone was under the impression that since Tsukasa existed at the Red House, he couldn't exist at the same time at the school. There had to be two of them. No one was thinking that time travel was involved in any way,
Travel
shape, or
Uh,
form.
shenanigans.
Amy, we even had sus casa. We
We had
knew, we were
Ah,
sure
we were
that there were
so
two.
you
sure.
were so positive.
I'm very confident in myself, and I have not regained any confidence like that ever since. Ever
No.
since we were proven wrong,
I
I've
did
just been
I had
like,
a
I'm
Eero.
clearly wrong. I don't know what Ida Hero's gonna do.
I
Like,
had a Eero pull the time travel card. Just why?
thankfully, it hasn't been complicated time travel. It's been really
Yeah.
simple,
Yeah.
straightforward, closed looped time travel. So I'm okay with that. But yeah, it is Hockey pointing out. It's really funny that time travel was used because no one was thinking time travel, and it's wild that no one was thinking time travel. Like there were a lot of people
No,
theorizing and
I
coming up
was
with all sorts of crazy ideas. No one was
I was
saying time
thinking that
travel.
Sukasa's time was frozen. Like there were two Sukasas, and the Sukasa in the Red House is his time is frozen, and then Suskasa is the Sukasa that's like around and terrorizing Hanako.
We thought that they switched like places.
And you
right?
know what?
That was the
The
whole thing.
the idea that there are two Sukasas was so strong that it is still running wild through the community. Like it was
Oh
just
yeah, don't
yesterday
think
that I
that.
was looking through the discussion and someone else was coming up with ideas around there being two Sukasas and I just like stood there with my hand on my forehead going like there's not two Sus.
So,
There's
so
only
why aren't
one.
there two Tsukasas, Amy? If you could refresh us, because
Oh my
I don't
god.
remember why there's not two Tsukasas.
There are not two Sukasas because the Sukasa in the red house, okay? So there was a 4-year-old Sukasa who jumped into the mouth of a supernatural in his house as a sacrifice for Amane to get better. He ended up in this like time distorted place. While
We
he was
had the
there,
panel.
he met Ko and Nene, who were from the future, who told him that Amane was going to kill him. He got hyped about that, decided to go back, but when Tsukasa went back home, which he always knew how to do apparently, he was fused with the supernatural that he sacrificed himself to. So the Tsukasa that came back is an amalgamation of the original Tsukasa and the supernatural of the Red House, and that is the Sukasa that grew up with Amane, that got murdered by Amane, and that is now a supernatural causing us problems. It is one
Yeah.
entity. I'm done.
I found a panel that explains the time travel shenanigans that it seems like a lot of people either missed or just didn't understand.
Yeah. A lot of people miss that. It was a tiny panel, so I understand it.
Yeah,
And
it was
I know,
one
like,
panel.
it took me a long time to wrap my head around what happened there because it was really confusing at the time. But now that I know what happened, I can recite it off the top of my
Oh
head,
my
and I
god.
get it. I understand.
It's so funny because the next panel with Nene and Co was literally us right
It
now.
was. That was just. Oh,
That was the whole fandom trying to comprehend it.
oh, the sheer. It's because no one. If people had been coming up with time travel theories from the get go, no one would have been confused. We all would have been like, yes, I understand. But that's not what happened. We were
Exactly,
all
yeah.
thrown for a loop.
We
It
have
was wild.
we have like what, like possibly two instances of time travel before that, if the Star Festival wasn't just a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's happened
then,
before. Like,
The Tea Party arc was like definitely like a thing.
yeah, absolutely.
That's the
That was
door
a real
dimension.
time travel that
That was
happened.
time travel. And
yeah,
then Star Festival, if it wasn't a dream, which I don't think it was, that'd be stupid.
The number of times we bring up the key, and it's always been a result of time travel.
Exactly. Oh my god. How did we not realize?
I
It
just,
all comes back to time travel.
I just want to go
what's the
back in
key going to
time and
do?
smack myself.
What's the key going to open a door where Sakasa and Nene and Co didn't meet in the Red House 50 years ago? Like, please, guys.
No, it's not that. It's not that.
Yeah,
Watch it be that. Now that I've said that.
of course.
The key's the key to the Red House.
Idea is just contrarian. If we come up with ideas, like they somehow just know that we're coming up with them and then just make it the opposite.
The Red House was also a lot of fun because it was the first time that like Ko was the protagonist for a hot minute. Like Ko was the MVP in the Red House arc. He never really was before. Like
Definitely.
the Picture Perfect arc was a lot more about Nene because it was something caused by Hanako. So Ko didn't get a lot of time there. Like he had his moment with Mitsuba for sure. They had their little back and forth.
And also when he fought Hanako, that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
when he fought
Yeah, well,
Hanako,
that
but
was so
fighting
cool
Hanako was
for
a group
Co.
effort. Like that. That's what I felt
It
at
was
the end.
mainly like Code getting like all the
He got
spotlight when it
beat
came to the
down.
fight.
He got beat down though. This was Cole shining. Cole
That's
was
true,
shining
yeah.
in the Red House.
Yeah, Cole really shone like never before in the Red House, and it was so much fun to see him grow into like his own character, and it's like for a long time he's just been hand in hand with Mitsuba, right? Like whenever we have Ko moments, it's always in the context of his relationship with Mitsuba. So it was so nice to see him playing an active role outside of his relationship with Mitsuba in the story and
But
doing
of
so well with
course,
it.
yeah, but of course his relationship with Mitsuba is still brought up.
Yeah, it's still brought up.
That's
It's
like
still a part of
that's
his
like
character.
always. part of his character.
But
That's
throughout the entire Severance arc, Ko's it's more been about Ko's relationship with his family, and especially with his brother, and trying to come to terms with his relationship with his brother and his relationship with his family's trade, and how he personally feels.
Yeah,
yeah.
as
Didn't he say that he's going to become a supernatural at one point, or was
He
yes,
didn't
he
say it
considering that?
outright. He
he
just
like implied it.
he implied,
Hmm.
and
Um,
that was never answered. By the way, we never really came back to that
oh
completely.
yeah,
Like it was implied a couple more times, I think, after that, but it was never outright addressed again
yeah.
after his
Um,
initial
I
talk with
I know
Nene.
we all miss Mitsuba, but I'm kind of glad that he like was like taken out of the story for a while because it really let Ko like develop on his own,
Hmm.
like outside of him,
It's been
and
good.
I
And
think it's
let's be
important.
real, there was not room for Mitsuba in this arc. There was too
There
much
wasn't,
going
no.
on.
So he was mentioned by name. Okay.
He
So
had one chapter where he got his like backstory, and that was about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, this arc for Ko, this arc was mostly about coming into his own as a protagonist in his own right. Nene, on the other hand, this arc has been mostly about her coming to terms with the fact that she likes Hanako. Like I even remember like noting how weird it was that so many people were like
Yes,
confronting her about it
yeah.
and how her answers kept like changing the more
Oh, we
people did
noted
it.
that. We noted that before chapter 86, like long
Yeah,
before.
long before I think, like because Katakuri brought it up. He was the one who said something, and Little Tsukasa said something, and I think it was after those two said something that I went, "Hey, this is a trend. They're setting something
Yeah,
up."
yeah, and we were all like, "Oh, something big is gonna happen with Hananene. Something big is gonna happen." And like, I knew something big was gonna happen, but I didn't expect full-on confession and kiss, just
Yo,
right in
Eleanor
all in the
mentioned,
open.
so are they just going to act like this now? So what no?
Five
What are
chapters.
we now?
Hanako and Nene need a breather chapter if they were kissing for 5 chapters straight. Well, I guess Nene does. Hanako doesn't.
That's hilarious. Actually, we were talking the other
Yeah,
day
how are
about
they
how
going to act
funny it's
now?
going to be, like between these two. I am
Oh
one.
yes, yeah.
My initial prediction is that Hanako is going to tease the heck out of Nene for it, because,
Really?
well, Hanako. He deals with uncomfortable things by turning it into a
Yes.
joke. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I
Yeah, but
and
aren't we going to see a more serious side of Hanako now? I mean, no, and then he'll probably jump back into his jokes and all that, but
I
I think
think
Hanako is going to be more serious from now on.
I don't know. Like I feel like it's possible that we'll get like Hanako actually teasing Nene back because he hasn't done it for a while because he didn't
Yeah,
want to acknowledge his feelings, but now his feelings are all out in the open, so
I
there's no
mean,
point in hiding it.
yeah,
I really want to
hmm,
see them teasing each other for a little while, and that was another thing Ness and
and
I were
we
like
need.
Yes.
contemplating about. It's like, because Nene at this point, her feelings are out in the open. She literally screamed her feelings to his face. It's very
Exactly.
possible that Hanako will try to tease Nene, and then Nene will just be like not receptive to it. He'll just
Listen,
tease her about her feelings, and she'll be like, "Yeah, what of it?" And then he'll be the one getting flustered.
Oh yes. Just yelling it, yeah.
we definitely need a reader chapter with like Hanako and Nene being teasing each
I just
other. We need Aoi and Akane just, holding each other for a while. I know they're finally back together. We need Teru, well, he can continue dying.
I
And
wonder how Aoi and
Mitsuba and Ko.
Akane's relationship's gonna change then.
Rue.
Yeah, because like
Oh,
I can picture Hanako and Nene's relationship not changing that much, like because
Mhm.
they've always been so flirtatious with each other. That's just been how it is. But
yeah.
Aoi and Akane was always extremely one-sided, so it'll be really interesting to see how that relationship changes because Aoi may go into full Tsundere mode now.
Oh yeah.
I can picture that.
Oh my goodness. That just reminds me of the bonus chapter where Where Nene like asked if it would be okay if she went after Akane, and Aoi just didn't show up to like Aoi said yeah, then just didn't show up to school
She was
for like a
so
long time.
upset.
She was so upset. She like pretended to be okay with it, and just didn't show up to school at all.
And then Nene's like, and then I never brought it up again.
Yeah, so funny.
Aki being
Uh,
like Ko finding out they kissed. Yeah, oh my
Oh
gosh.
my
I want
god,
to know Ko's reaction to finding out that that
please.
happened. Although I don't expect to
he
see
probably
Ko
deal
right
with it
away.
maturely.
Let's
He
all
probably deal with it
remember
maturely.
let's all remember that Teru was gravely injured and is on the verge of death.
Yeah, I'm wondering like what's up
I
with him
mean,
now.
I don't really
So
care.
of course not.
Oh, I know, yeah, we all know.
We know. It's less about that and more about like what's gonna happen the with the family now. Like um, Ko's like if Tara's out of commission, then Ko's gonna be the head exorcist for a little while at
He's not
least.
ready for that.
No, he's not,
No,
which is
absolutely
what's
not.
crazy about it.
No, okay, this is what he's going to. This is what he's going to. Is their father still alive? Their father's still alive, right?
I'm pretty sure yes.
Yeah, so he's going to walk up to his father with Mitsuba hand in hand and say, "Father, this is my ghost boyfriend. I'm leaving the clan." That's what's going to happen.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Aki too being like to Ko finding out they kissed. They'll be like he'll just say, "Oh, you got a ghost boyfriend too."
Mitsuko kiss when?
I think there was a collective dream that happened among the fandom. Everyone imagined it happening.
Oh, we wish.
We wish. But it
We
hasn't
can wait.
happened. I mean, it might. It might. I'm not going to rule it out. There's a
I mean,
chance.
I
But
know I know you
I
always
still
teased it a
I
lot.
still do think that Cole is completely over Nene at this point now. I do think
Oko's
so.
over it.
Oh yeah, no. He literally like basically accepted that she had feelings for Hanako in that one discussion that they
At
had.
the start of the Severance arc, yeah, they had a conversation, and Ko was basically accepting that. That's interesting because if I think of the Severance arc as being Nene coming to terms with her feelings for Hanako, then Ko confronting her about it seriously and like letting go of his affection in that sense is what set that off. It's what started it. Because
Yeah, yeah.
because people have teased her before about it, obviously, but I don't think she like really started seriously thinking until like one of her closest friends seriously asked her. Like,
True, yeah. Trying to go back to the scenes. I want to reread it now.
yeah, I've got to reread the entire Severance arc because oh my
Oh yeah,
gosh, so
definitely.
much happened. It was so insane. Um, what else was a major event? Oh, obviously Sumerian number 6 was a major event.
Oh my god.
It
I don't
feels
want
a
to think about
little
it though.
overshadowed because it was a dark ending, but it is important to note that we always pointed out Sumeri and number 6 kind of mirror Hanako and Nene, and they always have. It's an intentional parallel that they draw between the two, and their ending is tragic. Like it is pure tragedy. So it's pretty ominous when considered in that context. I don't want Hanako and Nene to end up like this, and I'm hoping it's going to be more of a cautionary tale and less of an ominous foreshadowing for what's to come.
Oh yeah, more like Hanako and Nene could end up like this
Yeah,
if like they fuck it up, basically.
yeah. I really don't want them to. Aki being like, Hanako and Nene realize Koa meets but like each other before they themselves do and try to be matchmakers. They just see how they act around each other and say, dang, was that how we acted?
Oh my god.
Not even, though. Hanako and Nene are hilarious because they've always been like that. I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know how to describe it because Hanako's such a flirtatious character that, like, we've always known how he feels about Nene. It's never been a question.
True, yeah. He definitely did cut down on the flirting a lot when
Yeah,
he
he
was
did when
like,
he started to like her,
yeah, when he
Mhm.
actually
was like,
like her.
oh no,
Yeah.
Which
this
I
is
think
not
is
too
so,
real.
I think that's so real though. Like, that's probably something that would happen in real life.
Oh, yeah. Especially for someone who is flirtatious by nature, they would definitely cut down on that as soon as they start developing real feelings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure I have seen that in practice before. I feel like I've seen it happen.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, if you have any questions, please type them out in general discussion. Literally anything that comes to mind that has to do with the Severance arc, that has to do with the chapter, go ahead, type it out, or raise your hand and come speak to the world. Speak to us. Let us
But
know what your voice sounds like.
in the meanwhile, we could discuss predictions for the next chapter.
I want it to be a laid back chapter.
Yes,
I
laid back chapter. Give us Hananade
We
moments,
need a
please.
break. We need
Hananene,
a break.
absolutely a break is needed. I am so tired. I'm sure everyone is tired. I'm sure Nene and Hanako and Ko and Teru needs a hospital and
Hospital.
Akane might need a hospital too. I don't know how bad Ko's condition is. He might need a hospital. Like, it's just
Hospital, the real MVP.
yes. Oh my gosh. Just give everyone a break. We really need it. Heck, it would be really cool if in the next chapter we got to see like Tsuchikamori. Like
Oh yeah, like
Mhm.
come on, please.
Tsuchikamori and
I want them back.
Yako. Like we
Yeah,
could
and
see
maybe
them
he
next
lectures
chapter
Hanako a
maybe.
little bit. Maybe he lectures Hanako a little bit. Like anything.
Anything. Ah. So
I
yeah, I
miss them
want
so much.
it's like my wish list at this point. I
But
want
they're at
more
the school
Hananene.
now.
There at the school. I want maybe some confirmation that Teru is alive would be nice.
Please, would love that.
Or confirmation that he died. You know, one way or the other. I just want confirmation. I want to know
I'm
what happened
sorry.
to him.
That would be so funny for a laid back chapter though, if they're just like, yeah, Terry's dead by the way.
Yeah, Terry's dead.
Anyways.
And I would like to see the return of one of the seven mysteries. Any one of them.
And number one's Yorishiro, please.
When is number one gonna do anything?
I don't know.
Do something.
It's been the whole Severance and he did nothing. Isn't this what
Do
we wanted him for in the first place? Like
do
Hanako found out
just
Nene's lifespan issue and then he's like, oh, number one can help. The Severance kind of passed and gone now, so
I keep saying they
when?
I
miss
don't
the
know.
moke. I miss the
Too many
moke too,
people
yeah.
too many of the characters said that number one would be important. I don't trust that they won't still be important.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll play some sort of part. It'll be interesting to see what kind of part Akane's going to play from here on out.
Mm,
Oh yeah, Kane is a part of number one.
yep.
Hmm. He's a part of number one, and you know he was essentially on Teru's side for that showdown that happened on the train. So he was down with Hanako being gutted, if that's what it took.
Yeah,
Which
but
makes sense.
he was doing all that for Aoi. It's not any hidden motive of the seven mystery of number one.
He
I
was
don't
doing all
think
that
so.
for Aoi. I'm just curious about how this is going to change his relationship with Yashiro and Ko in particular. Like he really did seem to get more of a senpai kohai relationship with Ko, for sure.
Mhm.
And and as for Nene, well, they were working together essentially in this arc right up until Nene decided to save Hanako, obviously. But before that, yeah, they were completely on the same side. And I mean,
Oh
always
yeah.
out of danger now. So
Yeah,
yeah, there's
like
a
what are
question,
they going to
Aki.
do?
Will Aoi remember all the stuff that happened, and will she even be able to interact with supernaturals? That's interesting.
That's
I
true.
don't know if she'll be able to interact with anything. I'm sure she'll remember. I don't think she'll forget what happened. Um, because that would just be a stupid cop out, and Ida Euro is better than that. Um, but yeah, like if her lifespan is restored, then there's really no reason for her to see supernaturals anymore, unless there was some other reason for her being able to see supernaturals other than her lifespan being suddenly shortened. In which case, she might still be able to see them, but she definitely knows they exist now. So yeah, that'll be
And
interesting.
there's no point in Akane hiding what um he has done as
Mm-hmm.
well. And he's a whole well, he's half a supernatural.
He's half a
So
supernatural. Ultimately, Aoi is still part of a bloodline that produces shrine maidens. Like she does have the same kind of Kanagi blood that Yashido has. Like she should theoretically be able to see supernaturals. I think her life force was just like canceling that out before, and once she could, once her lifespan was shortened, she could see them. So yeah, I don't know if that's something that'll reverse. It's really interesting.
I think her lifespan was shortened the moment she touched on number 6,
Yeah,
because that
basically.
was when she actually started to see
Well,
supernaturals.
she didn't touch number six. She touched Akane.
But yeah.
Ah,
She just like came onto the scene, and number six saw her and was like, "Yes,
yeah.
perfect." Exactly what I was shopping for. I love when I find what I'm looking at the nearest store.
But yeah, yeah, we didn't really answer the question. Predictions. Well, other than the whole lighthearted thing, we're back at the school. How is the school going to, how is that going to play out now? Is Nene and are we just going to pass each other in the hall and say hi? And how are you and how have things been
No.
since your lifespan got
I
extended?
I honestly I think it's hard to predict because, we're at the end of an arc and we're assumably starting a new one, so we don't really know what we're getting into.
They do need to talk though because Nene and Aoi, well, Aoi doesn't know that her lifespan was swapped for Nene's. No one has told her that yet. That that's what happened. And even though Aoi was basically down for going to the far shore when she first decided that that's what was going to happen, um, ultimately she did want to go back with Akane. Like that, those were her feelings. So there does need to be a discussion between Nene and Aoi about what went down and why. And so there's a good chance that Aoi is going to be a much bigger player from here on out. She'll be much more involved.
She'll be in the loop.
That's great news
And
because I
Akane
love
is going to
her.
be
She's
so
great.
mad about it
And
too.
yeah, that's yeah, I do really want more of them, so I'm glad.
Yeah, Aoi might find out about Nini's lifespan. I don't know how she'll feel about that.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting if it happens.
Any other questions, guys? Go ahead and type them out. Like to see Ko and Hanako's friendship develop more. Yeah, at some Ko and Hanako moment, it's been a really, really, really,
Oh
really,
yeah.
really, really, really long time
Oh,
since those two have been in a room together.
we actually skipped over this. Nene's lifespan being tied to her obliterating the Yoroshiras.
Oh
We didn't
yeah,
really
we
talk
kind of
about
like.
that.
I said it was a bombshell when we talked
Yeah.
about it, and that was like that's what really made me gasp out loud. But yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Like, because we've never had any kind of confirmation before as to why Nene's lifespan was so short, like what was supposed to kill her. And there was no indication that like anyone else really knew exactly what was going to kill her. I remember we talked about it too, like why is Hanako so sure that like switching Aoi out as a sacrifice in Nene's place was going to work. Like, how did he know that that was where she was supposed to die? He didn't. That's what we know now. He did not know. He assumed that that was where she was supposed to die. And so he swapped Aoi out instead because the opportunity arose for him to do that. But yeah, only Sakura apparently knows. But yeah,
Because
KG,
Sakura is all knowing, apparently.
because every wish has a sacrifice. So if destroying all the Yurashiros brings up gives you the ultimate wish, then it's very possible that the death of the person who does that is the sacrifice itself needed to get that wish. That's a reasonable assumption.
Mhm.
Hmm, that's true.
But I don't know if Hanako would have known that, and if he does, it's another reason as to why he would have given up on that plan and doesn't want to go through with it.
I mean, he didn't explicitly give up with the plan. He wasn't active about it anymore.
He stopped being active, yeah. Although he did
Yeah.
look pretty distressed when Tsukasa was pushing for him to do it again, but
And don't you remember his reaction to seeing Sumeri? Although that would have gotten them out of number six's boundary, but then again, he just basically snapped his fingers and the elevator came down.
I still remember
So,
that. Like,
So
dude, come on.
yeah, at first he did advocate for like Sumeri's like when he found out he did advocate for Nene to like he was like, why didn't you tell me, and like and this would get us like out of here, and like but then he just
yeah,
hops in an elevator anyways. Like
yeah,
why were you like
like,
but like that would fix our problem. Well, apparently you could fix the problem the whole time, so
and if he knew, wouldn't he treat those things more preciously? Um, if he knew that Nene's lifespan was tied to a Yorishiro, destroying all the Yorishiros, I don't think he would have just said that out there so, loosely, right?
Yeah, I don't think he knows. And that's a thought, Aki. Like, we don't know who's gonna get the wish if this ultimate wish happens. If Nene specifically wishes for Hanako to live, I could also see that happening. Yes, it would be a sad ending, but I could
so
see it
tragic.
happening.
Yeah, that would be an extremely tragic ending because Hanako does not want that.
Hmm.
Because, sacrificing Nene is not anything that he would want.
Yeah, and
That's
it's been
true.
Especially if
pointed
the
out.
only benefit it gives is for him to live. Like, hell no.
Hmm. And it's been pointed out that if Nene destroys Tsukasa, that's like and dies in the process, that's Hanako losing the two most important people to him. And regardless of what his relationship with
Oh
Tsukasa
man,
is like, that is still his brother.
And his
he'd probably
Yorishiro,
find a way
so.
to kill
And
himself
his
anyway.
Yorishiro, yeah. So that would be an absolute tragic end. I really hope that's not where it goes.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hmm.
Yeah, but the wish is Sakura's wish, right? And Sakura wants to destroy the world.
Well,
Nobody will
Sakura
exist.
has a wish. It doesn't mean it belongs to her. She just has a wish she wants granted.
No, no, there's no way I can look at it. Sakura's wish is probably the best wish because every path leads to tragedy except for Sakura's that just leads to nothing. So
How about just no wish? There's a path. No one gets a
Okay.
wish. I veto it. It is not
that's not
happening.
Veto the wish.
I veto the wish.
No one gets a wish.
I just want some miraculous ending where Hanako gets to come back to life and Nene doesn't have to die for it to happen.
any, any ending where Hanako and Nene stay together and it's not tragic. Just give.
that's impossible.
Uh, I can dream. I'm still dreaming. I've been
And I
dreaming
have.
ever since
Like
I started with
I,
this
we're
manga.
reading this manga and we know it's going to break our hearts. We know.
We do. We've always known from the very start. Everyone has known.
of course, like,
But
happy
we
ending isn't
still
my
read it.
prediction, it's my hope.
Uh,
It's just a big bag of copium, to be honest.
that's okay. Maybe that's the point of the manga. Maybe it's, to give everyone a good healthy dose of copium and see how much they can handle before they break. Maybe it's a psychological experiment.
If that's the case, then we're not gonna get a break after the severance. Who are we
Oh,
kidding?
oh, that's true. Well, oh well. If we're part of this big psychological experiment, at least we'll go down in history for it.
we knew that Idea wanted us to suffer ever since they put the spinoff on hold. We don't even get the fun spinoff anymore.
Oh, I miss the
We splash
spinoff.
page.
Ah.
It was always just like, you know, oh, I can read this, and the main story is making me so depressed. Just no more.
No more. They just want to make sure we're all depressed. You can only
I'm
experience the depression, that's all.
still hoping it comes back soon.
It might.
Now that the Severance arc is up, I feel like it could.
That'd be great. I would definitely welcome back that stuff. But I think we're basically wrapping up. We've gone over an hour now, by a little bit. We've been here a while, which is fair because we did a whole talk on the Severance arc itself, which is longer than the chapter. There was a lot to say, a lot going on, but I don't have much else to say. What about you two?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm good.
I'm good. And we did go over our predictions for the next chapter. We're still, for everyone who's here, we're still doing watch parties of TBHK on Saturdays. We still have to cover episode 10, 11, and 12. And I think I'm going to plan to do all three of those in one night because doing one would be weird. Ness, are you going to be there, please, this Saturday?
Oh, yeah. I don't have any plans this Saturday.
Oh, thank goodness. Okay, so this Saturday, we're going to be covering episodes 10 to 12 and finishing up the anime as our celebration for the rebroadcast. If a season 2 gets announced, great. I'm still not expecting it, but I hope to see you guys there because that's going to be fun.
Oh my god.
I still think the rebroadcast is a test run to see how well a season 2 might do.
Yeah,
But
it might be.
Not going to be an announcement for a season 2.
I'm not hoping for anything. I'm just saying it'd be nice if it happens. And okay, so yeah, we're doing that this Saturday, same time as we do our podcast, around 10 is when we do that, our time. So what was else? There was something else. Oh yes, next chapter. Next chapter, regular time.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the 18th on next month too. So yeah.
Yes, November 18th.
November 18th. So we will be back probably around the 17th, checking out the RAWs, posting the translations as soon as they become available throughout the day. So keep an eye out for that. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm going to try and get this video up this weekend. It's been a wild week. Oh my god, school is really hard right now.
Yep.
But I'm going to do my best, and I've got it planned. I can do it. All right. Any other thoughts?
Nope.
Nope. Head empty.
my head is definitely empty right now.
Okay, thanks everybody for joining us so much. We're really glad that everyone joined us for this little retrospective that we did. It was a lot of fun. And we will see you next time.
Bye-bye, guys.
See you guys. Oh my god.
Auto-tune.
I'm so sick.
Use the auto-tune.
I'll look into auto-tune.
Don't auto-tune me.